I pop it, it's a flicky. Roller, we roller. The other biddies, they be shit. I pay for my shit, ayy.
Yo, what's up everyone, it's Blue Nova and I'm back with a new tutorial on how to get your vocal quality to sound like Don Toliver in the song His and Hers. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so that you're notified every time there's a new video. If you want to go ahead and get this entire vocal preset, just go to bluenovabeats.com, go to the store, click on the vocal presets tab, and the preset will be available there. This tutorial, we're using Waves plugins and we're using Studio Rack, and if you have Studio Rack, you can use it in any DAW just as long as you have it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The lead vocal, we have auto-tune just routed into every insert. So the lead is separate into one, the ad-libs and the intro, you can see all that routed to another bus. So turning these effects off, let's hear the vocal by itself with auto-tune. So I'm going to right click it, so we're going to solo it. With auto-tune, I have it set on G minor. The retune speed, I have it set at 10. And that's essentially it. You just want to make sure you have your auto-tune in the same key and scale as the song you're singing in. So this is what the vocal will sound like with auto-tune by itself.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
So that's it as far as the lead vocal. That's the raw quality of it. The next thing we're going to do is actually get into the processing of the vocal. So the first thing I'm doing is basically compressing my vocals and just making sure it's consistent throughout the leveling. So this is what it sounds like.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
We have the F6 by Waves, and what I'm doing is just putting in some dynamic EQs in it. So when certain peaks are coming in and those frequencies are pushing out, the dynamic EQ is just basically pushing it back down. In the high frequency range, I'm boosting that a good amount just to get that crispy quality of Don Toliver. What I'm doing is just boosting that up by 12 decibels and boosting that to around the around the 7,600 range just to get that clarity. So this is what it sounds like.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
After that, we have another EQ. So we're using the REQ6. And with it, we're just cutting a little bit more of the low ends just so that nothing is just getting muddy in that frequency. And we're boosting a little bit in the 8K region just to get a little bit more clarity in it.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
After that, we have the de-esser, and what it's going to do is just take away the sibilance in the vocals. So you can see the frequency set at 5,633, and I'm just bringing the threshold down to where it's hitting around the lowest part of the vocal just so that it's taking care of those harsh frequencies.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
After that, we have an L1 limiter, and with this, we're just getting the volume of the vocals up. We're putting the ceiling at -3 and just pushing the threshold down to where it's hitting the lowest part because, like I said, I just want everything to be very consistent within the mix. So this is what it sounds like.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
Next up, we have Sibilance by Waves, and what this is going to do is just take care of some more sibilance in the vocals. Any harsh frequencies is going to take care of it. So this is what it sounds like.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Toolie in that Birkin.
And next up, we're using the R-verb, and the R-verb just giving some space and warmth in the vocals. There's a good amount of reverb on Don Toliver's vocals in the song, and also because it complements well with the guitar and the wideness of it. So these are the settings that I created.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Toolie in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Tuli in that Birkin.
After that, we have the H delay. And H delay, we're just putting some bounce and essentially just delaying the vocal. I noticed that that's something that Don Toliver had in his vocal, so I replicated the same type of quality with it, and these are the settings that I have.
Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Tuli in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Tuli in that Birkin.
And that's essentially it for the lead vocal. So with the lead vocal, once you have the processing done, you want to just add that onto your ad-libs. Now with the ad-libs and the intro vocals, there's going to be a few different things on it just to make sure that it sounds well within the mix. So let's go ahead and actually move to the first thing, which was the intro vocal. So with the intro vocal, there's like a doubled and filtered sound with it. Essentially, like I said, once you have that lead vocal, just slap it onto your onto the insert and then just have a secondary studio rack. And this preset will give you that very close and similar sound to Don Toliver. The first thing I added was a doubler 4, pretty much making the vocal sound like it's double, like it has this chorus type of sound like you hear in the very beginning. So these are the settings I created with it. And I'm gonna play it. Let's actually turn off these other effects and play it.
Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah.
And the reverb right here. With it, these are settings I created, and this is what it'll sound like.
Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah.
Next up, we have the Q10. The Q10 is also a very good EQ for everybody to use. So what I'm doing is just rolling off the low end and rolling off the top end as well, so that it sounds like it's not clashing with any type of frequencies. We just want it to sound like it's in a different space and has a nice feel. So this is what it sounds like.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
And then the very last thing is adding an L1 limiter just to make sure everything is just consistent throughout the whole leveling of that vocal. So this is what it sounds like.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's all I did for the intro, and then the ad-libs are pretty much the same as the intro. So playing it all together, let's go ahead and hear it with the instrumental. For the master channel, what I have right here, just studio rack, and what it's doing is just a linear EQ broadband. So what it's doing, just cutting the frequency at 16K, just making sure all the frequencies are stopping at that point. That's something I pretty much do in every mix. And also putting the L3 ultra maximizing. So this just prevents the whole thing from going past 0 decibels. And these are the settings for it. Not anything too fancy, just the standard settings as far as it loads up. And this will be the final quality. Let's go ahead and just play it where it should be.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Tuli in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Tuli in that Birkin. When I pop out, it's a flick. Roller, we roller. The other biddies, they be shit. I pay for my shit, ayy. Take some time. I know how it get when I make that mine. Shawty, I'll break that spine.
So that's pretty much it. That's what I did in order to replicate the quality of his and hers. If you guys liked it, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Put in the comment section what you all want to see next. If you need your song mixed and mastered, go to bluenovabeats.com. Go to the contact form on the very bottom of the page and just send me a message there. And put in the comment section, guys, whatever you want to see next. I'll try to answer it and get to it as soon as possible. But I'll catch everyone on the next video.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Baby, is that back and burp? Then pour for a perp. You got his and hers. Tuli in that Birkin. Close the window curtains. Right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve. Tuli in that Birkin. When I pop out, it's a flick. Roller, we roller. The other biddies, they be shit. I pay for my shit, ayy. Take some time. I know how it get when I make that mine. Shawty, I'll